Shalom, giving our praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Say double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So for you out there who have discipline in the flesh and in the spirit, and you pretty mature in the scriptures, just want to put a reminder out there for just to, remember what Yahweh Shai himself said, which I'm going to read first, and what all the other prophets and men said. First, I'm going to read Proverbs chapter 7, and I'll explain. Verse 6. As a king, start at 4, it's King Solomon speaking. Saying to wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. And that's what I basically want to stop it. So, because King Solomon goes on to say how he basically saw this young man fall victim to the snares of the flattering woman to be destroyed. In this case, I could refer this to like a young woman, but of the youth, right? So today, right, going to get some food, right? To summarize it, middle of the street, middle lane, waiting to get over. However, you got to go left to get in. However, the people that's coming out happen like two occasions. One, not only is a lot of traffic coming, but the two vehicles that's coming out the restaurant, they happen to be like in the middle. So you can't get over because they're taking up too much space. So you have to wait till they leave so that you can get in. Well, it's just a lot of traffic, slow traffic going. It happened to like two vehicles. The first one came, and then the second one too. It's like, okay, now I gotta wait for you to get over, and I'm waiting for the traffic as well. Well, some young, so-called black lesbian woman in the car with her so-called lesbian girlfriend behind me got so impatient, I guess, and I assume she believed that I was intentionally holding up traffic. Decides when she thought she saw an opening to run into the opposite traffic direction, right? Go around from the left of me to try to squeeze and make the turn, only to realize you can't make the turn because the person coming out is taking up the middle spot, so you gotta wait, but you can't see that probably in front of me, so look like a fool. So then she finds herself swerving quickly back into the middle lane in front of me now, and have to go forward and backward to line up because now you're in the middle of traffic, and I'm looking like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that. Only to, when the opener finally came, only to go in and call herself trying to hold me up by rolling out her window, screaming. I can't understand what she's saying. But call herself like getting in the entrance and stopping right there, thinking she's gonna hold me up in front of traffic. When all I did was just pull in behind her because it's proof that if anybody's looking, you're the one holding up traffic. And if anybody came up behind to see, they would say, why isn't that car moving? And I couldn't make out what she was saying until I got closer, and I'm just looking at her, right? I'm not angry, I'm not doing no hand gestures. I'm just looking at her out of confusion while she's looking at me yelling like, yeah, you just that much of an asshole. You're gonna wait till these people come out and just wait, huh? You're gonna let all them go, huh? And I'm just looking at her. I'm just confused. So then she pulls in, because in my mind I'm like, I don't know if it's clicking with this woman yet to realize that we're going to the same place. So she then parks, and then I park, and she's waiting, right? I get out, and I'm just going in normally, but I got my eye on the car though, right? And while I was walking past it, Jake said, hey bro, keep a cool head. We all saw, if you need a witness, just keep a cool head. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. But I keep my eye on it because you're dealing with some random why and you don't know what to happen. But as I'm placing my order, right, I'm looking in the parking lot. I'm looking, just to see what's gonna happen if the person about to come in, she about to come in or what. And I thought at first the person in her passenger was a dude. And I thought like her dude would probably tell her, look, calm down or whatever. Or maybe that person would come in instead of her or whatever. No, she gets out, but she's waiting in front of her car like she's waiting to see if I'm gonna leave first. And at that point I realized you're a fool. Okay? You did all of that without even realizing you were starting mess with a stranger, and we're going to the same place, and you are 100% in the wrong. And you tried to make it worse by, I guess, trying to save face by trying to make me look bad and show out and hold me up in traffic. When you ain't hold me up in traffic, you make yourself look stupid. And in the end, I get to the end, she finally comes in, only to place her order. So in my mind, I'm like, so you came here with the intention, you should, if anything, you should have hit the drive-thru if you was being smart. You came in with the intention of coming in to place an order, starting stuff with a complete stranger that you don't know, and we meet at the same spot, and you see I'm a man. And I just looked at her, and she looked at me frowning, and I just looked back. And that was it. I didn't make any angry faces. I didn't respond in the same attitude she did. I just shook my head once I sat down to eat, and I watched to make sure she won't do nothing. But on her way out, I can see this look of stupidity. And then she got in her car and then drove off. And, that just, at first I was mad because I just said, this is how our women get hurt out here. Because you just acting rash, not thinking at all, going off your emotions, right? This is how you all get hurt out here. Because if I was anybody else, any other person, if I was another nigga or anybody, even anybody, somebody would have parked their car, walked right over to your window, and it would have been a mess. Or even wait till you get out. Right? But I understood only after the fact, right? Afterwards, right? I actually felt a little sad. Simply because I realized at that moment, this is how our people get jacked up out here. Even our women get jacked up out here. This is how confrontations happen. This is how what they call nigga moments happen. Over stupid stuff. Over nothing. And you hear these stories. Like I remember one of the last stories was regarding that Amazon. If you don't know, here in St. Louis, there was a fight at Amazon. These two dudes fought over some Amazon hoe. Don't belong to neither one of them. You hear about it, people do get stabbed or whatever, but when there's a video on it and you watch the video and you see the whole thing could have been simply avoided. All it took was for one person, one of them, to have wisdom to just say, this is stupid. I'm not about to do this, and walk away. But then they end up fighting, and in that fight, the guy kills the guy. He gets thrown in jail. Young man dead. This guy goes to jail over some Amazon hole because of lack of understanding. I don't like seeing that stuff. So when I saw that, I was first mad because I was just looking like, this is how you women get jacked up out here. You know what I'm saying? This is how any of our people get jacked up here. Like, I don't care if you think you a stud or whatever. You clearly had no intention on going all the way or being confrontational after the fact. But you did that knowing we're going to the same place. It just didn't click. And I said, you see, this is how people get hurt. Because of lack of wisdom, lack of understanding, lack of self-control. So, and earlier that day, I had to deal or fight the urge of confronting a bunch of people who were being dishonest with me, right? So the whole day today was just, let's just say I developed some more patience. But this is Matthew 5, and we'll start at 5, and this is the message. This is what I want to say. Just remember what Yahushua said in verse 9, okay? But verse 5, it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. This is verse 9, that's the point. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh. There are times where like today, even if you are 100% in the right, if you know that something can escalate and it's only simply because this person or whatever has a lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge, right? Lack of understanding. And if all it takes is for you just simply to not say anything or not to do anything, if you're not losing anything at all in it, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because our youth out here, they're so lost that when you think about it whole, it's like this is how you hear about these senseless killings going on, road rage or whatever, fighting because of this, fighting because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like that girl didn't even realize that if I was anybody else, like at the worst, you probably could have lost your life, or at the least, you got your ass whooped. You know, if I was anybody else. But the whole time I was just confused, and I decided to just not say anything. And if that resulted in that person just walking away, realizing that what she did was stupid, if in the end, if it you could say resulted in peace, then I'm okay with that. But I did get a little sad just knowing, like King Solomon did, like when he just looked and observed the youth, and he just saw like lack of understanding can lead to someone's downfall, and senseless and lack of, you could say, understanding, lack of wisdom can lead to a senseless situation that can completely be avoided, right? Just going off the flesh. You just marvel at it. You know what I'm saying? So, as Yahushua said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh. A lot of times, just you having the understanding and being, you can say, mature, disciplined, and self-restraint. Because I guarantee you, okay, it was one of those situations where if I would have said anything, confronted or anything, it could have went this whole way. But as far as everybody in the area or in the store knew, nothing happened. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you gotta remember we had witnesses. So they was watching. And in the end, nothing happened. So the point is, if you can pour the water on a flame by you having the understanding or wisdom, now I'm not saying go meddle. Don't go meddling. Don't go, scripture says, if at all possible, be at peace. Right? 100% would have been in the right to say something, to even, or even do something if this little young person, right, tried to even so much as do anything. But instead, I just realized that at that moment, this is how our people get hurt. Seeing our youth like that actually made me upset. So I just let the person go. And sometimes you just have to do that if you know where it could lead to. If you can counsel, I really want to just say, look, what are you doing? That's what I really wanted to say. Just pull it aside. What the heck are you doing? Like, do you not see what you're doing here? And do you not see that if I was anybody else, what would happen to you? That's part of why I wanted to do it, but it wasn't the place for that. So remember to be, if possible, blessed are the peacemakers. Whether it's your counsel or whether it's just you simply putting out the flame by saying nothing or doing nothing. If at all possible, man, because our people are lost out here, and this is how you hear about the senseless things that go on because of lack of the scriptures, lack of understanding of the scriptures. So you be that peacemaker if at all possible. Shalom.